Before teaching a grammar point, it's important to provide a context for that target language. In this example, we've seen how this can be done by presenting the learner with an article to read. Once the learner has understood the basic meaning of the article, we can pick out some sentences to examine in more detail. So for example, in this particular activity, the book asks the learner to complete the sentences using the article above to help. So number 1 here, it has a blank, and so what we're trying to elicit from the learner is how much or how many, the target language. So blank food does an average person eat in a lifetime. Now the learner has already read the article, so they're directed back to the article to try and find an answer. And in the title here, we can see how much food does an average person eat in a lifetime. So the learner is going to see that and write how much in the first blank. Now the second task is for the learner to fill in the next blank. Blank cookies does the average American eat. So when the learner redirects themselves back to the article, they can see in paragraph 3, how many cookies does the average American eat? So we're prompting them to write how much in the first instance and how many in the second. This is quite important because if we were to start teaching how much and how many with just these 2 questions, there's no context, there's no background for the student to cognitively deal with the meaning of that sentence. So if we start with a text, can be a listening or a reading, and from that text we pick out a few sentences or examples of the grammar that we want to teach, and we try to let the student think about it first before we actually, as a teacher, explain the meaning. So this notion is called guided discovery, and we can see it here in part B of the grammar section. It says, look at the sentences above, underline the correct alternatives to complete the rules. So instead of just feeding the student the answer, we try, as a teacher, we try to elicit the answer from them to get them to think about the grammar themselves before the teacher tells them about the meaning. And so we assume that the students are able to think about the sentence, to think about the context, and therefore answer, complete the grammar rules, which is that how much is used with uncountable nouns and how many is used with countable nouns. Just to make sure that the students or the learners do understand this concept, there's an additional activity here where they have to match the quantifier with the picture. And after that, they'll be ready to practice in a controlled way. I'll talk about that in the next video.